Hey everybody, Tony Mejia here for Wager Talk with the Week 15 Ratchet play. And there was no squabbling in the company boardroom as to which game should take the honors this week. It's Texans Jaguars week, people. We're looking forward to moving to 11-3 on these Ratchet plays, which have been a consistent moneymaker since we got started on these videos in week 2. And while Houston and Jacksonville play twice a season, every season as members of the AFC South, we here in Ratchetville left all the teams out of the mix in week 1 to give them all a chance to avoid being lumped in with the worst of the worst. That means that this matchup between 2 and 11 teams is fresh for our purposes. We didn't touch week 1, which was a victory by the Houston Texans, and the loser here will continue to be a threat to the Lions in the race for the number 1 overall pick in April's draft, so this one has major consequences. It's also got major drama. Late Wednesday night, Urban Meyer was let go as Jaguars head coach by owner Shad Khan, who pardoned him once already after the first-year pro coach opted not to fly home with his team following a Week 4 Thursday night loss in Cincinnati, and was later caught on video having a much younger bar patron who wasn't his wife dancing all up on him that weekend. We're not the grinding police, but it was an awful look for Meyer, who became the laughingstock of social media until the next scandal came along. Meyer then rubbed his team the wrong way throughout his tenure and never struck a good relationship with number 1 overall pick Trevor Lawrence, so it's no surprise that he's now gone after kicker Josh Lambo divulged that Meyer kicked him earlier this season while getting on him over missed field goals. The incident was already well known in Jaguar circles, but the fact that it got out there and embarrassed the organization again was apparently the last straw for management. Darrell Bevell will now take over on an interim basis and is doing so for the second consecutive season since he took over for Matt Patricia when he was fired with the Detroit Lions last season. He also won his debut before dropping his final 4 contests, so he's going for 2 debuts in a row with wins, and the call here is that he's going to persevere and do so once again ascending to the top spot because the visiting Texans look quite vulnerable. Houston's first-year head coach David Culley got no vote of confidence when GM Nick Caserio was asked about his future come season's end, and the Texans are 1-11 since opening the season with that 37-21 blowout of the Jags at NRG Stadium. With Meyer gone, Jacksonville can collectively send a message that the team is thrilled that Ding Dong, the witch is dead, by performing really well in this one. The Jags turned the ball over 4 times and it looked like they hadn't made any progress under Meyer, berating them and creating a hostile work environment in last week's 20-0 loss to Tennessee in Nashville. Just before that loss, NFL Network reported that the Meyer's assistants were offended by him berating them and creating a hostile work environment. Afterward, he threatened to fire anybody that he caught leaking stuff to the media. So the Jaguars have been putting the fun in dysfunctional all season long, and that figures to come to an end here. Their 64 points that they've scored over a 7-game span is the fewest in franchise history in that longest stretch. Jacksonville hasn't scored more than 17 points in 7 straight contests, but we're looking for that to end here because Trevor Lawrence has failed to throw a touchdown pass in 5 of the last 6 games, and he figures to have a resurgence against the Houston secondary. The Jaguars are actually favored in this game for just the second time this season. The first time was in that Week 1 loss to Houston. And in that game, Tyrod Taylor was excellent, but has since given way to rookie Davis Mills, who completed his first 14 passes against Seattle last week, but couldn't sustain that momentum in a 33-13 loss. Mills did throw for 331 yards and a score in his return to the starting lineup, but he's going to be the guy going forward as long as he stays healthy. And that's a good and bad thing for Houston since he's getting experience, but isn't very good at this stage of the game. In a battle of rookie quarterbacks, it would be an awful look for the top pick to fall to a projected backup who wasn't selected until the 3rd round. And make no mistake, even though both of these teams stink, I think the motivating factors are going to fuel Jacksonville to a victory, and we'll see some backbone from them at home, particularly now that Meyer is out. Expect Jacksonville to get a much-needed win over a Texans squad that has been outscored by 51 points over 2 December losses. Lay the points, 3.5 at this point, for our Week 15 Ratchet winner. For WagerTalk.com, I'm Tony Mejia.